Hey everybody, it's your Uncle Bear, and you will have to excuse my disheveled appearance today. I am down in Laredo, Texas. It is 97 degrees with a heat index of 107 today, and my air conditioner is not working. I've been fighting it for 2 months. I've had it in 2 different shops. Well, actually 3 if you count the guy that put my new compressor on. But anyway, nobody seems to know what the hell's wrong with it. I actually went to the dealership last weekend. They were open till 8 p.m. on Friday and noon on Saturday, and I paid them $261 to tell me we don't know. So I'm still without, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. They don't know why. So anyways, the reason for this video, I got to thinking, it used to be that 24/7 there was a shop open with good quality mechanics or tire techs. There was it didn't matter what time of night, and it wasn't very far to find one. And I'm not talking about your chain truck stop shops. We all know what those are. They're recent diesel mechanic school graduates that they can get for cheap so they can get some experience in. And nope, this isn't a slam against them. They got to learn somewhere, doing the grease jobs and swapping tires and stuff like that. But I'm talking about good quality mechanics. You go in and you tell them the symptoms and they go, okay, this is how we fix that. And you old timers, you know what I'm talking about. And now they've all gone to 9 to 5, closed on Saturday and Sunday, and it's like, I load on Mondays this coming week. The day after Memorial Day, I'll be loading Tuesday, but I normally leave Sunday evenings, and that way I'm at my customer first thing Monday morning to get loaded, and then I don't get home until probably, sometime Friday afternoon, hopefully early afternoon, but it doesn't always work out that way. And like I say, anymore, a lot of the shops are closed on Saturday and Sunday, so you got to give them time to work. And if they're only open until 5 o'clock on Friday, they got to have time to work. And I always have to tell them, hey, you know what? If you can't finish the job before you close today, then don't start it. Don't start anything you can't finish today, because I got to go Sunday. That's how that works. So anyway, just a little pet peeve of mine, that we need to get these shops to where they realize that we're not a 9 to 5 operation. We're not a 9 to 5 operation, and we're not a Monday through Friday operation. We needed to go back to the way it used to be, to where we could count on people to be there to help us, get our equipment fixed, and patch a tire if need be, or switch a tire, or sell us a tire, or whatever the case is. But we need to get back to that, because we're not a 9 to 5 operation. And honestly, our pickup and delivery window, transit windows, they're tighter than they ever were. It's right down to the gnat's ass. You got to be here at this time, and you got to deliver it at this time, and there's barely enough time to stop and take a shit. And the load I'm picking up now, the broker that I'm working with on this load, he's pretty good. He's pretty good about getting me a decent appointment, because I always tell him, hey, but I got another load going to the same town, and that broker, there's no wiggle room on the appointment. It has to be there at 9 a.m. Friday, and it's like, it's 1,200 miles up there, and it's like, when you're not getting out of Laredo until, like right now, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've been working since early this morning, getting unloaded and getting reloaded. I took a nap, but it's it's pretty tight. Even, you know, he's got me a 1 p.m. appointment, which is fine. I'll make that, you know. But when you got that 9 a.m. appointment, you know, that's pretty tight. And of course, if you're late with any of these, everybody's got to charge their late fee. I got jacked around for 8.5 hours this morning, you know, getting unloaded, and by the time I got here, I was a half hour late. And you know, the broker on this one, you know, he told me he wanted to keep me on it and he would pay the late fee here. And I thought that was pretty cool. He's a good broker. And yeah, it's $150 late fee, and he said he'd pay it, so we're good with that. Anyway, that's all I got for today, folks. Be safe out there. We'll talk to you next time.